Hi, and welcome back to this latest episode of the Infidel Network interviews. I have here RCThaHazard and J-ClaWsin. They're going to be releasing a album called the 386 tape through the Hazmatmusic group. So let's just get kind of a little bit of the origins about who are you guys? What are you guys about? How did you get into rap? And how did you guys get together?
Well, let's see, I'm RCThaHazard, and like you said, the 386 tape, that's the project we're dropping May 7th, this Sunday. And how did we get into rap? Well, me personally, I got into rap through, I grew up with it, man. It was always connected through my family, through my dad, uncle, cousin, sister, everything. We tried to emulate my older cousins and my older sister. Back in the mid-90s, there was this radio station, 102.7, the morning drive-by, and they always had, like, basically kids and teenagers call in to kind of, you know, they'd battle each other. They would get people to call in, vote against whoever was the best, like, rapper that morning, and then people would get voted off, and then eventually there would be a champion, and then it was like, it was just a different structure of radio battles. Yeah, exactly. Like written stuff to beats, and also like it was over the phone, so you had to make sure you were playing the radio like loud in the background, because the phone, like, you're not gonna hear it properly through that. It'll be staticky and stuff. And then I met him 2013ish, I think.
2012.
2012. And then he joined Hazmat in the beginning of 2013.
No, actually, I think it was 2000. No, yeah, 2013. Never mind. Yeah, I guess.
That's right. And then since then, you know, we just realized that we just saw each other at a lot of the same shows, and we knew a lot of the same people. We grew up kind of. We were kind of in the same area, and you know, we just like realized our styles fit and meshed well together after a while, and then that's when we started making songs together and doing shows together and stuff like that.
A natural fusion.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, no, and I guess me, you know, I'm J-ClaWsin, ready to dig my claws in is what I usually say, but, you know, I mean, how did I get into rap, and who am I? You know, I'm just a regular human being, just like anybody else, you know. I got into rap when I was probably about 13. I've been listening to rap my whole life. Like, my mom was constantly playing it and listening to it because she listened to it, you know, since she was a kid. And, you know, but I also grew up on metal and rock and, you know, stuff like Johnny Cash I was introduced to as a kid, right? So I had all these different musical influences, but rap and hip-hop was the one that really, I guess, struck me emotionally and kind of grabbed me, because it was like, I heard a lot of what these people were talking about, what they were struggling in life, and I felt like as a kid, I kind of wasn't dealt, you know, the best cards, right? You know, we all got our sob story, but so it was like rap and hip-hop. It always got me through all that shit when I was a kid, you know, growing up with a single mother and, you know, dad not even wanting to be around. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that struggle shit in hip-hop, so I just gravitated towards it. But it was when I was about 13 that I actually started writing it and, you know, recording it myself with my own equipment, and I actually had a producer that reached out to me when I was a kid, and his name was Rock Pacino, Il Gates, and he helped me out, got me my first studio session at a place in Chilliwack when I was like 14. My first legit studio session, and then I was on TV, on Shaw TV, performing by the time I was age 15. And when that happened, that's when I realized, like, okay, you know, I don't just have my, you know, friends and family telling me that I'm good anymore, right? I had strangers coming up to me and saying, like, hey, like, I heard, you know, I like it. And they don't have a reason to come up to me and tell me that they like it, but they do. So that's when I realized, like, okay, maybe I could actually, like, you know, take this, do something real. Well, not just make money off of it and try and market my talent, but, you know, I really wanted to affect people, you know, in the same way that music and hip-hop affected me when I was a kid, you know, how it kind of helped me get through all that. I know I felt like I need to, you know, it's okay, like hip-hop and the culture is given to me, now I need to give back to the culture and the people, and right, and I felt like trying to help people through my music. I have a lot of funny stuff, and I like to be a comedian in my music, and I like to showcase that side of myself, but I also have stuff where I'm seriously trying to say something that's real and affect people in a real way that You know what I mean? Because, you know, it's not just it is entertainment at the end of the day, but I feel like it can go a lot deeper than that, you know, because it sure the hell helped me, you know, growing up. So, you know, and like I said, then I hooked up with the boys at Hazmat and, you know, RCThaHazard, you know, showed it to Vicious 5150, Wendell, Ches, Shua, you know, the Rapists back in the day, you know, all those guys, you know, Signs, DZ Man. Then I found them, and I felt like we all had like a similar view of what we wanted our music to sound like, I guess, and it just took off from there. So, yeah, man, that's what it is. That's what kind of why I started to rap. So, you know.
Sounds like you two have a really authentic story that kind of touches to the roots of what hip hop's actually about. You know, you're not in it for the fame or the money. You're in it for what the cause, the do-it-yourself aesthetic, the mentality of making a conscious change in your environment.
It's like the puzzle piece makes sense if it's.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys have a new album coming out. It's gonna be with the Hazmat group. It's called the 386 tape.
Yeah, well, it's presented by the Hazmatmusic name brand, but it's just a duo album as far as the Hazmat artists. It's because there's like about 10 of us.
Oh,
but
okay.
This project is just 2 of us, me and him. We live together. So a lot of the songs stemmed from just living together. The 386 tape, that's our apartment unit number. I mean, it's not, there's no really deep meaning behind that. It's just what it is. It's just where we live, man.
And how long did this album take you guys to make?
Oh shit!
As long as we've been living together in the unit 386.
We started it basically
a year and a half.
Yeah, we started it basically. Every track was made in house, like at this new place, because he moved in with me about a year and a half ago or so, and since then is when we started making the tracks. And we finished it probably within about 6 months, but there were so many other projects and so many other like things ahead of it priority wise that we had to kind of just put it on the back burner for a while. So when we were ready for it, we polished up a couple of the songs, added a couple of songs, made a couple of music videos, and you know, we got some friends to play some live instruments on a couple of tracks, and then basically we were ready to release it for, you know, when the time was right, which is now.
Yeah, and it'll be on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Tidal, SoundCloud, Bandcamp. The list goes on. It's going to be everywhere. You know what I mean? And we also have physical copies as well that you can, you know, order online. So, you know, like I said, we put a lot of heart into this project.
Yeah, no, to answer your question, like a year and a half, I would say, about like when you total it up to everything, it's about a year and a half. The music, I mean, didn't take as long as it did to take to organize everything else.
Polish everything, like I said, you know, like I was saying, like we're super proud of it, but it took a long time.
Figuring out what pictures to use, figuring out what features to use, figuring out what tracks to keep and what tracks to cut, because there was like, you know, we always put out a lot less tracks than we actually make for a project, because we go through a whole process of
refining.
Yeah, this is the yes file, the no file, and the maybe file, right? Yeah.
Oh well, that's all about. So you guys ended up doing a lot of the production yourself for this album and a lot of the artistic work.
Yeah, 100%. He did the artwork.
I did the artwork.
And I did the beats and mixing and recording.
That's a whole bunch of work. It must take a lot of inspiration and a lot of will and drive to guys.
It comes from the term. It just comes from that old saying, man. If you want something done right, you can just do it yourself. Like,
exactly.
There's a lot of good people and a lot of good resources in the Lower Mainland to go get these types of services, but. You know, if you can teach yourself,
controls in your hands, then
how to do what you want, and then you could spend the time polishing something up to whereas it could sound exactly how you want it to sound, and you don't have to be, you're not paying hourly, you're just spending the time, but that's a whole other value, man. That's a whole other value.
Yeah, like sometimes it's good to outsource, and sometimes it's good to, you know, get somebody who's actually an expert, you know, at doing something. Like obviously we're not going to try and press CDs in our house. We're not capable for that. We're going to go to outsource and do an expert for that. But if there's certain things that we know for sure that, like I said, we can do it ourselves, or we can do it quality, not just do it, but do it with quality ourselves.
Yeah.
then you know, why not, right? Save some money.
But it's just like that's hip hop. It's a never ending class, so to speak. Like you're gonna keep like if you're people like us, if you got that motivation, which a lot of people are like us, and it's just a never ending learning process. You're gonna keep surrounding yourself with people that could teach you stuff you don't know. So next time you come around, you will know how to do something like that. You know what I mean? Like you stay surrounded with people that.
Make your mind grow.
That make your mind
want you to make you learn more.
Yeah. Keep yourself surrounded with people that can, you know, show you what's beneficial.
Uplift you.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.